Hadley Climate Change Committee meeting to order.
I second it.
Today's October 9th, 2025. Second, all in favor?
All in favor.
Second, all in favor.
So we need to approve the September minutes.
Can we, with so few people?
I think we're a quorum because it's half of us.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah, all right.
Isn't that right?
I don't know.
Don't ask me.
You may want to wait.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
we'll
I
wait
think
then.
you need a
I think you
majority.
need
Like you need
more
Oh,
than,
Oh, I
than that.
thought-
If I could be a subcommittee
Yeah.
concerned citizen, I'd vote with you, but unfortunately,
It'd be
there's
nice.
that time.
It'd be
You
nice.
know, I'll
So we
stay
can't
here.
because we got that. We're not a quorum. All right. Then number 3, new business.
All right. So for new business, plastic in our bodies, but it's also plastic in our world. And this is an ongoing issue. So some of my sources include Beyond Plastics,
Mhm.
which is sort of a known, trusted site. And it's from a February 2025 study, indicated there might be far more plastic in human brains than previously thought, as much as a plastic spoon.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh my
Equivalent to
goodness.
Plastic fork or spoon.
Now, there's two different sizes of plastic. I mean, there's a myriad of sizes of plastic, but there's microplastics that are shards of plastic between 1 micrometer and 5 millimeters. So those are some bigger pieces. And then nanoplastics are smaller than 1 micron. And these are the particles that can most easily enter the brain. So micro and nanoplastics may impact our health in 2 key ways. There's a physical presence by having this invasive come into our bodies. It can also cause some inflammation. And chemicals from the original plastic or pollutants picked up in the environment can leach into our organ tissue and cause damage. So I'm no plastic expert, but it's amazing how much information is out there. How do microplastics and nanoplastics enter the brain? So they can enter through our mouth, our nose, and our skin. And from there, they can travel via the bloodstream to any organ, including the brain. The brain is typically protected from harmful substances in the blood by a brain barrier. However, some of the smaller nanoplastics can pass through that barrier.
Right.
And they can even weaken the barrier. So what happens when micro and nanoplastics enter the brain? There's ongoing area of research, so it's being done all the time. And the exact effects likely depend on the size, shape, and the type of microplastic. But early studies, mostly done in animals, have raised concerns that micro and nanoplastics may kill brain cells, disrupt the brain's immune system, and promote the buildup of harmful proteins linked to the neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Like plaque, brain plaque.
Yeah. And impact on how the brain develops, increasing risk of neurodevelopmental disorders, and change the chemical signals between neurons, and even increase some anxiety and depression-like behavior in animals. That was a surprise. So why does this matter? Well, the brain's a very sensitive organ, and it's still developing into our mid-20s, and many of the cells that aren't able to regenerate after that damage. And one study, not cited here, but they have links to it, found that microplastic levels in human brains were nearly 50% higher in 2024 compared to those found in 2016.
I believe that.
8 years' time.
Well, there's so much plastic in the environment. Oh,
And with plastic production expected to triple by 2060, the risk to our health will continue unless action is taken. So some suggestions that Beyond Plastics has: start by reducing your exposure, and also get involved in reducing plastics in your town, county, state, and beyond. Consider taking their plastics course. Those are some ideas, but I did find a second
Can I
set.
say that article?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write down that instead of.
Sure, you can keep that if you'd like
thank
to.
you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put down the link here.
Yeah. So again, this one talks about the microplastic, nanoplastic, and that's interesting that they differentiate.
Mhm.
So what they're saying is how plastics get into the body.
Mhm.
They have specifics of food and water, especially bottled water
Mhm.
Yes.
in plastic.
Mhm.
Seafood, salt, and packaged food.
Salt?
Yeah, that there's plastic within the salt.
Huh.
Excuse me. Are you saying seafood? Is that what you said?
Seafood.
No kidding.
Well, because the ocean.
Well, yeah, and salt and seafood pick it up sort of in their places where they're living.
Oh, jeez.
So there's all these.
Oh, so we
I thought
think.
we were supposed to eat fish.
Oh, I know, right? And also, sea salt's supposed to
Yeah.
be so great. Now it's like, wait, no.
Yeah, right.
Air.
Salt from Salt Lake City, but or I don't know where else do they get salt?
Well, and so plastics enter through food and water, through air. We inhale microplastic fibers from synthetic clothing.
What I'm wearing right now.
Carpets and dust.
Yeah.
And also skin contact, although this is less common, but possible through cosmetics and personal care products. So again, that's how plastics get into us. Where they end
Well, all
up.
the plastic bottles that everything comes.
Absolutely. Where they end up, blood in the organs, especially the heart, liver, and kidneys. Those are three big systems. The lungs from inhalation, digestive system from food and water, and the placenta and breast milk, meaning
That's
that they
very
can
weird.
impact developing babies.
It's those little microplastics.
Yeah. And Marion, just tell me if I'm going too fast or
No,
you.
I'm not. Actually, I'm gonna
Okay.
just write down the links.
All right. And then there's health risks and biological effect. There's inflammation and cellular damage because they can irritate the tissues. And nanoplastics may penetrate cell membranes. I mean, these are beyond small, disrupting normal cellular process. Also, this was interesting. There's chemical leaching. So plastics often contain additives like BPA, phthalates, flame retardants that can leach out. And these chemicals can act as endocrine disruptors,
Yeah.
interfering with hormones that regulate metabolism, reproduction, and growth.
Well, phthalates are all the fake fragrances. So all the like fabric softener and all the scents, all that cheap perfume, that's all phthalate. It's
Yeah,
all.
I don't use any of that.
Are they in detergents too?
Yeah, all that, unless it says natural
Okay.
substance.
But even then, I would question at this point, like what kind of regulations are
I know, I
there?
just don't get fragrance free.
So here's something that's interesting. I mean, it's all interesting research. Potential long-term effects: hormonal imbalance, reduced fertility, increased risks of certain cancers, and immune system impairment. And then systemic stress. You have oxidative stress, which is interesting, damaging DNA, proteins, and cell membranes, and they can also carry pathogens or pollutants. And it's interesting, like heavy metals or pesticides that sort of hitchhike on the surfaces of plastic. So the scale of the problem, studies estimate, again, I don't have the citation on the study there, but they estimate that an average person may ingest tens of thousands of plastic particles each year, and possibly more depending on diet and environment. And bottled water can contain up to 100 times more microplastics than tap water in some tests. And then what can be done? Avoid heating food in plastic, especially in a microwave. Choose glass or stainless steel for storage and drinking. Reduce bottled water use or opt for filtered tap. Limit synthetic clothing. And then support policies reducing plastic production and pollution. So it is intriguing to see what's out there.
The thing is, you think of all the things, like just, what do you call it? Vinyl siding, that's plastic. Like our cars are plastic. Everything, like when it rains, then all the little microplastics are washing into the dirt.
Well, and I think of our polar fleeces,
Yeah.
and I think of our blankets that are
Yeah.
often fleece based.
Yeah.
I used to work at Malden Mills, where we made miles and miles and miles of polar
Remember
fleece.
when Polar Fleece came out? It was like It's like a
we're all-
miracle.
Right.
Well,
As warm as wool, and you can throw it in the washer.
Right.
Woo-hoo.
and it is pretty
Doesn't
miraculous
I
in a lot of
know, it
ways.
is.
But there's also some dark sides, and you know
Yeah.
you don't want to overwash some of these fleeces
Try not to.
because they can really break down over time. So that was a little of what I found, and that was a good
They're
suggestion.
saying, I don't have like the statistics, right here, but more and more people under the age of 40 are getting certain kinds of cancer. And I wonder, some of that is
Some
diet
connection.
and but it could also be like more and more exposure to environmental.
Yeah, and you know, when we do a test as scientists, we try to limit all the other factors except one, but it's hard in the worlds we live in to limit all of those factors.
Yeah.
I think Susan had a comment.
Oh, okay. Did you want to say something?
Yes, I
I had gotten that off my phone.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I think this is such a good topic, that as a suggestion, maybe you wanna get, start an information campaign. Because when I looked up that book, at the bottom of the book, they have, sign up to host an event for the problem with plastic book. And I'm not suggesting signing up for an event, but it's like getting the word out. We in this room probably now know more than 90% of the people in Hadley.
Yeah.
And so if you got on an information campaign, I think that would be terrific. You know, people can make their own choices, not mandates. It's just here's the information to make good decisions for yourself.
Yep.
And however that information is disseminated,
That's the thing. Like, how would we?
I
No, it's like when we did that climate day. That was great, and people showed up, and a lot of information was conveyed. Other than doing something like that, okay. So if the town administrator did a newsletter, we could include it there, but we don't. We have our climate change committee website, but I don't know if anybody ever goes there.
you know
And
what?
there's a lot of information listed there, and we could add this.
I
but
mean,
I
you
don't-
could host mini events here. It would start small because most
So
people
maybe
aren't
like
aware.
via the senior center.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
in the
You know, like
daytime.
the
or something.
first meeting, 5 people come. The second meeting,
Yeah.
20 people come, and you build it up with providing information.
Yeah.
I think
And
it'd be a great project.
and you know, beyond plastics, they can come in.
Public comments, just remember.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't call for that yet, but it can be there, and it's a good idea.
So I have heard that there's some local communities that have contacted Beyond Plastics, the group that put out that article, and they're actually willing to come in by Zoom or other things and work with people. So I'll do a little exploration
that'd
with
be
that.
excellent.
They're at
I think
Bennington
excellent.
College. This
Where- that's in Vermont,
organization
right?
is right out of Bennington College.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I looked it up.
No, this is certainly a topic. I was recently in New York City, and the restaurant for to go gave me wooden
Yeah.
forks, knives, and spoons. I still have them. They're flat. They're not.
And they're wooden.
Yeah.
They're thin wooden to
Yeah.
go forks, knives, and
You
spoons.
can reuse those.
I
babies.
am.
Yeah.
That one pair, that one
I
set
mean,
of
that's
3.
serious.
I couldn't figure. At first, I was like, "This is. I'll bring it in." You know, even though it's
Yeah.
huge, but it's thin. It's very thin.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that's a step. That restaurant chose that as their version of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, in Panera, to their credit, if you order a takeout meal, you can opt out of getting the plastic silverware. I don't know.
But do they
what
give
else.
you anything then? You know, if not plastic.
Some
they give
people
you-
are there's compostable
Yeah.
silverware that I got the other day, but it doesn't break down in your backyard compost.
Yeah.
That's the problem with all the compostable bags and takeout ware and all that. Like up at Martin's farm, he can compost that stuff.
Yeah.
But not in
A
your
backyard
backyard doesn't get
composter.
hot enough.
No, I do a lot of traveling in my car, and I've got like from whether it be Whole Foods or wherever, new, forks, knives, spoons, and baggies. If
Yeah.
I'm eating as I'm whatever, and it's like I shouldn't be eating off of the plastic forks, knives, spoons. It doesn't
Are
matter
they
that they're
check
clean
it
or
because it might actually be compostable, which you can't compost it, but at least it's not plastic going into the environment. Because I think
not, or
they
into
kind-
your body though,
Yeah.
because this
Yeah.
is how you're eating your to-go food.
right,
Yeah,
right,
off of plastic.
yeah.
Well, when plastic first came out, people thought it was the new miracle.
Right.
But we always learned that it's not quite as good as it first appears.
Oh, and you know what I read somewhere that some tin cans are lined with plastic.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on the inside.
Well, and I think of every yogurt container I eat out of
Yeah,
is all plastic.
yeah.
So,
I think there is one company that started issuing some reusable yogurt container that you had to return, but and like Maple Line Farms and
Yeah.
other places, they do that where they will sell their milk in glass.
But at least you
And then
can
you have to
return
return
it
it. I
at the
think there was a
grocery store
yogurt,
where you
right.
buy them.
Right.
Yeah.
The takeout containers that you can return. I mean, I guess that works if you eat there regularly, but
Right.
yeah. I think it was Side Hill that
Yes.
was talking
yes,
about that.
Yes.
And that would have been a great idea, but the whole process ended up using so much more fuel
Right.
too.
Right. Right.
ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody's gonna look into getting in touch with Bennington and see if they want.
Well, I'll talk to Beyond Plastic and just say, hey, is there a way? They are always trying to do outreach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other one I will do, I know it's not on here, but I'll contact Stacy and Nina now that they've done the Source to Sea for this year. I'll see about if they're in a spot where they could come in and work with us and get Hadley doing sort of that fall cleanup in our waterways.
Okay.
So Source to Sea is this group that's been going on for decades,
Yeah.
and they clean up along waterways
Yeah,
from.
and they just had it.
And they just had it, and so I'll see if Hadley could do that, because we always do a spring cleanup, but it would be nice if we can really
Oh,
concentrate
but
on
they
the
didn't
water.
do it in Hadley.
Well, they might have.
Oh.
I'm not familiar enough. I have
So
to do
talking
other
about
work.
cleaning up along the river.
And all the waterways. And I
What
don't
other
know.
waterways do we have?
Well, a lot of streams,
Oh yeah.
I believe. And Marion, are you at all familiar with Source to Sea?
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Every year the GCA does it as part of like reverse Tashlich. Like
What is
you know,
that?
the Tashlich is like the ritual where you like kind of
Throw stuff in.
throw your cap. It's obviously not plastic. It's mostly breadcrumbs or leaves or whatever.
It's like
This is
releasing
like
your
right.
negativity
So
or
instead, you're pulling garbage out
Huh.
of. So some people do
Interesting.
that as part of one of the events that we do.
where do they do it around here?
They usually. Last time I did it with them, we went out to the, on the other side of the bridge. You know that
Oh, the
off the rail trail. There's that parking lot where they have the rowboats, where they release the
On the
rowboats
Northampton side?
on the Northampton
I
side.
didn't
We
know they had
walked
boats
along
over
the
there.
river there. We were pulling out so much plastic and couches and all kinds of
Wow.
crap.
how long ago was
Excuse
that?
me. That was like 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I haven't participated in the last couple of years.
That's disgusting.
And they usually do it right around like
Right around this
the end
time.
of September,
Yeah,
sort of
because
thing.
yeah.
It's like the
It's right
end of
around
the
the new
summer
year.
Yeah.
when all the people have been recreating on the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, why
Throwing their
people just
junk.
don't have conscious. They're just not conscientious. I know that the Connecticut River Conservancy is trying to do as much as they can, and they do test the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be another
Mhm.
interesting visit would be someone from the Connecticut River Conservancy
Yeah,
because they're doing all kinds of conservation and awareness, and I happen to know someone that works for them, so maybe I can talk to them.
Nina.
No, her name is Melissa.
Okay. Because also, well, do you want to take that on, or I could? I'm cool either way. Because I know Stacy Leonard,
Okay,
who's involved with it, and I know Nina Gordon Birch
Connecticut River.
Conservancy. Yeah, out of Greenfield. Yeah.
Okay, why don't you, and then let me know, and
Yeah.
I know Melissa.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
cool. So is that all we have on plastic?
for now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so updates. Our green community, projects. I got a call from Kyle,
Mhm.
and well, it doesn't matter what he
So
said.
who's Kyle again?
Kyle is with the company that we hired, or the school, yeah, the town hired AEG.
EED.
AEG. Okay.
Wait.
Is it-
Advanced Energy Group, AEG. They're the ones that are gonna do the insulation
Yeah.
at Hopkins and the lighting upgrade at the sewer department. So he gave me the quote finally for the lighting, which is about $747 less than the amp quote. And then um he's also recommending, I guess there are two outdoor light pole fixtures outside of the DPW garage.
Yeah.
That are burning like high intensity incandescent bulbs. And he's recommending that we go ahead as long as they're there and upgrade those. So I don't know what,
Yeah.
Like Chris and I had I went to see Chris Desjardins, and we are not going to use AEG again. They're just, I guess they do good work when they ever get around to it, but they're too busy, and this is just taking so long, so we're gonna try somebody else. But for this go round, he's he said, here's the quote for the lighting. We should be on that job. And gave me the impression of like in a week or so they were gonna get to that.
Okay.
Well, that would be now. I haven't heard anything from Gary that it's happening. And I'll follow up next week. And I haven't got, when he mentioned the other two light fixtures, I'm like thinking, well, now we have a little more than $16,000 left to spend.
Yeah.
So sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
How much it's gonna cost? So I asked him, I said, whatever paperwork you send, like he didn't send me a real, quote on an invoice. He just
Mm.
did a table and highlighted it,
Yeah.
and so you get the drift. It's like a little bit of progress, but no work is actually being done yet.
And nothing on the insulation.
No,
still.
now he's saying he's very aware of the dates, that work has to be completed by in order to apply for the next grant.
Yeah.
And I said, what's happening with the insulation? He goes, well, we will get that done over Christmas break. Now I'm like, he goes, look, I know, you have to have all the work done by February of 2027. And I said, okay, just
Okay.
then there's this whole other, there's the piece of the need for insulation above the stage.
Yeah.
And the auditorium, I guess, or the cafeteria. But according to Kyle, they can't get up in there to do it unless everything is taken down. All the lighting, the curtains, everything.
Mm.
And so Chris was hoping that the trustees would take, if he explains, and I guess the curtains are really shot anyway.
The Hopkins trustee.
Yeah, and the wiring is really old. And he's hoping he can get them to foot the bill for that stuff, and time it so that we take it, it's taken all down, then they can do the insulation, and then they'll pay for putting that back up.
Wait, did you say that the some of the electricity needs to be redone? So they're trying to,
They just kept
Piggyback.
saying the wiring in order to get to the area, it
Okay.
needs to be insulated.
that there's some wiring that needs to be addressed?
I guess it's all the lighting that's
Yeah,
above there and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And that it's
Sounds-
really old and decrepit, and that they cannot adequately get to the space without taking everything down. So as long as
They're
they're
gonna
taking
do that.
everything down, they might as well redo it
Yeah.
rather
Update.
than putting the
Right.
same old junk back
Yeah.
up. So
Got it.
Chris was going, I guess he mentioned it, talked to Annie McKenzie about that, and she may have said something to the trustees, but when he and I talked, he had the impression that they had no sense of urgency about it, that maybe it wasn't clearly explained to them that, that it had to do with this insulation. So he said he was going to be at something, I think he said last Thursday evening, some kind of, I don't know, and they were gonna be there and that he would try to talk to them about it. And I called him twice today to see, but I,
Yeah, because this is everything that was supposed to happen over the summer.
right,
And
it's really frustrating.
Endless delays. That's too bad.
Yeah, so,
They insulate, right. We just had a meeting where they said they were gonna.
Yeah.
so according to Nick, Petipas, who,
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly sticking it up for AEG now and just saying, they will get it done. They're just very busy. They have many other schools.
Yeah.
And so Chris and I talked about, for the competitive grant, Nick he did recommend, he said he's heard good things about AEG, energy conservation, energy source, and that's who did our energy reduction plan, and Guardian.
Okay.
So Chris, we agreed we are not going to call them again. Maybe they're so busy because they're first on the list and everybody, whatever. But he was gonna start calling around because we really need to get, I mean,
Yeah.
with how long everything takes, a year and a half is not very long for getting quotes so that we can apply for the next, for the competitive grant for the next batch of work. So at the time it felt like, oh, good, but it remains to be seen.
Yeah.
So I'll follow up on that and maybe some kind of work will be done next week, maybe the lighting.
So when you say lighting, does that just mean light bulbs or like actual?
The fixtures too.
the
Yeah,
fixtures?
I think,
Yeah.
right?
Lighting fixtures.
Because
You have to
it's,
change them to
yeah,
support
because it's
them.
gonna cost almost $4,000 to do, so it's gotta be fixtures as well.
Are we ready for 4.2?
I think so.
Why don't we go take a look at the screen?
Yeah,
Mary,
you saw, but you probably have.
Susan,
There's a screen in the dining
we
room
want to show you this.
that shows how much electricity.
Well, see why,
You know that,
like, what
right?
happened today?
And what we find in
Carry a little notebook.
Well, some people
You would be
like,
good at
like
that.
I like data. I like information.
Yeah.
And so that's kind
Well-
of like cool information.
Well, if you're here often,
So-
so why don't you do that?
Yeah.
what you find is very much a bell curve with May, June, July being peak times. So for example, for my home solar system, there it is. And for the year,
Wait,
there it is. It's showing production.
Oh, don't
Month
you
to
just
month.
love it?
And then it shows lifetime production. And you can have simple apps like this,
Aren't you
but
excited?
it'll
Like,
it'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
gonna be so cool.
It's wonderful that they got it done. So yeah,
Yeah. So, nothing new that I know of about the landfill solar. What's the last we heard? That they had paid the money for the preliminary application or whatever, right? Now they're working on the more detailed site plan. I think that was the last we heard.
I think so.
So, and then I put composting survey on there because I think that was your idea, Mary.
It was
It was
Catalina.
Catalina's.
Oh, I thought the idea of a survey.
Oh, yes, I thought, didn't we say that it could go out with the census or go out
Yeah.
with one of the town mailings?
So what,
And a
like,
QR, like, they could just like hit a QR code and
Yeah.
fill out a survey about whether or not, if there was a composting service available, would they use it?
or are,
Do they
are you
compost?
compost?
Right, exactly.
So I was thinking, that is something, do you wanna take that on, try and organize
Maybe I
that?
would work with Catalina on that.
Okay.
If you want me to take that on.
And maybe
Sure.
that can be something at the November meeting. Do you have some topics that you're thinking about for November meeting?
I
You
did
mentioned
finally
about
hear
Zoom.
from Ryan at what is that company called? Completely blanking out.
What do they do?
They offer extensive plastic recycling services. And
Yes.
Yes.
Is it USA?
no.
No.
Oh no, it's
Oh, that guy in Amherst?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
did you go to that?
No, but you sent me.
And I
Yeah, I
didn't,
went to
didn't
it.
go
Why
to it
can't it-
either,
Oh, you
but I
went to
did
it?
see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just drawing a blank what it's called. But anyway, yeah, at first I thought, this sounds expensive. Okay, so what they do is they collect and make sure it gets recycled. All right, the regular stuff that you can turn in at Target or
Mhm.
whatever, the stretchy plastic,
Yeah.
grocery bags, produce bags, all that kind of stuff that food's wrapped in that's stretchy.
Yeah.
Okay. What I have been until now keep throwing the primary thing that goes in my trash is the other kind of plastic packaging, the non-stretchy, the hard plastic,
Okay.
or like what cheese comes in. It does not stretch. And you can't put that in your recycling any
So, wait. What does this have to do with composting?
nothing. Or
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
No,
fine.
I-
I was just, do you have anything more to say about composting? So I'm gonna get in touch with Catalina and we're gonna look into the possibility of putting out a composting survey. Do you have any suggestions of who we can talk to about that?
Well,
I think that you would probably talk to Jennifer, in
at
the,
the town hall,
yeah. That
Sanders James.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ask if
I
it's
think
possible.
it's like 5 short questions, if that many, just a basic survey of how many people are composting, and then if not, are you interested in composting? Here's what the town currently offers,
Okay,
and here's what USA offered. She
Right, okay.
claims USA is full blown willing to pick up curbside in
okay,
Hadley now, so
okay.
yeah, so that's, I'm sorry.
So first is
sorta
getting permission from Jennifer to actually
include it.
include it. Okay, good.
And it seems like it could be a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
It just here's the QR
Right,
code.
right,
We're
right.
gathering some information.
Right.
I wish we had a better way to contact everybody in town, but yeah.
I know the larger towns do these amazing newsletters.
Or smaller towns, I see what Leverett does with this Leverett Connects, and they have, probably 60 to 70% of their people are tied into
But
that.
that's not
It's not town government.
That's not town government.
No,
That's
I
just
know,
somebody-
but it is an interesting way, and some of the people in their select board and such will, if they need to get something fast out to everybody, they will take advantage of it.
one place we also could include it is the senior center newsletter. I mean, it doesn't go to everybody, but it goes to a lot of,
Yeah.
the elderly people. So, and I think people do read it. But we don't have anything else that goes to everyone else unless it's in a bill.
Yeah.
Or that goes to.
Oh, right, we're thinking, excise tax,
Or we're thinking the annual census.
right,
That was actually better because not everybody has a vehicle.
right.
Or the sewer water bill,
Oh,
But
it
not
wouldn't go out to
everybody's a
renters.
homeowner.
right?
Right, so that's why that would be,
Sense it.
that's why the census could be the best,
Mhm.
because that goes out to pretty much every citizen.
Yeah. And I wonder if that even goes through her office or if that comes out somewhere else.
You might ask Jessica Spanknavel, is the other person that,
Jennifer, what's Jennifer's last name?
Sanders James,
Sander Jane?
Sander James, the two names, but then also Jessica Spanknavel,
Okay,
who
She's the
might,
town
as the
clerk.
town clerk, be responsible for the town census.
Spank,
Nabel.
Mabel.
Yeah.
Town clerk.
Who's
Is she
related
married
to
to
Mike.
chief?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Without any of that, if you need any help, there might be.
Okay, and then maybe, probably what we'll do is we'll come back to the committee and decide what the questions should be.
right, and then after that, that's when we can decide if we want to promote it at all more than we already are doing based on what we get.
Yeah.
The feedback we get.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it might. We might be pleasantly surprised that a lot more people are composting than we know of.
Yeah. You know, we have two large areas that we compost in, and a number of neighbors just hop in and use it.
Yeah.
It's a great little system.
Okay, good.
All right, are we good on that?
Yeah,
Yep.
so now.
Now you were asking me about the next
Yeah.
thing.
And you had mentioned about Ryan.
Yeah, let me just look real quick.
Is this topics for the next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next agenda?
Interesting to sort of have this theme of plastic.
You know those little green scrubby?
Gridwell.
My partner Joel said really likes using those, and I think I don't think that's a good.
What is it?
They're the little green. They're
Oh, the
the
scrub
green
thing.
scrubbies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are all microplastics.
I know, and I use these really. I get them at the dollar store in packs of 5. They're these super cheap sponges that are they're not cellulose, they're plastic. And then they've got the green thing. And I love them because they rinse really clean, like way cleaner than the cellulose sponges.
And they
Yeah,
don't
I
wreck
know.
tough on surfaces.
Right.
What I
But I'm
yeah.
ugh. But it's like anything you buy to wash your dishes with, unless you just use like a cotton washcloth.
Well, there are things out there, but they cost, they're more expensive and they degrade more easily and they do smell more because they're natural. And
Right,
they
so
hold-
stuff grows in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I may quit using these after this package or something. I feel guilty every
You know
time.
what sometimes what I do is when I notice that they're starting to degrade, I
Yeah.
just throw them out. And
I know, but it
Well,
gets
then that's
expensive.
an issue.
That's what I
issue.
used to look for, the ones that well, for a while I was buying them and the plastic part was brown, and I thought it was some kind of natural substance like walnut or something.
Yeah.
And I was throwing them in my compost, but that part was not breaking down. I finally looked closer, and it's plastic.
When you say cellulose, though, cellulose is a natural.
I know the sponge part,
The
but
sponge
it
part,
was
is
the
that
scrub.
natural?
Yeah, cellulose is from
Sponge.
plants. Yeah, cellulose.
So the normal sponges that we buy those
Are-
are probably plastic.
No, those are cellulose.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If it says cellulose, that's the part of any plant fiber that is very slow to break down.
Okay.
So, but it's
Yeah.
the
It's
the one
plastic
side
coating.
that has the scrubby
Yes.
thing, that's plastic.
Yeah.
So I guess using that is better than what I've been using lately, which is all plastic.
Yeah.
But I get tired of the cellulose because it doesn't rinse clean. It's just, ugh. I've gotten so, after you use your sponge and everything, you feel like you have to wash everything.
So is Ryan coming to our next meeting?
No, he's going to do a Zoom presentation.
Wait, so
His
what's happening
company
with
is
him?
called Ridwell.
Ridwell?
Well,
Yeah,
And what is he doing?
he's gonna do a presentation to us via Zoom at the next meeting about this, what Ridwell services they offer.
all right. So depending on what we find out about Beyond Plastic or contacting Nina and Stacy about Source to Sea, we can see about possibly stacking some of these
Yeah.
people.
So next meeting, we will definitely have Ridwell, and we might have someone from Source to Sea.
Now, next meeting, what are we looking at for timing?
It's November.
Well, will it bump up
13th, I think.
against Veterans Day or anything like
I
that?
don't know. Maybe paying attention.
No. Okay, it should be the 13th.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, November 13th, you have that on the bottom. Thanks.
yeah. Veterans Day is on the 11th.
So we'll try, Catalina and I will try to give you a update on the composting survey
Okay.
for next time.
And,
We will
were
have
we
the
gonna see about
landfill
somebody from Bennington?
Update. So
Well, no, that's Beyond Plastic. And so they're based out of Bennington College, but the group is Beyond Plastic.
Plastics. Jack. We'll reach out.
Well, I'll see what
Back to us.
what happens.
And Connecticut. River.
And then if
Okay.
Michael's gonna be here, I'll put the landfill on the agenda, otherwise.
Yeah.
we can find out. I mean, if Jane was here, she could probably fill us in, but
Even if they say yes, and even if there's funding constraints, there might be a way that an outside company would take that on.
take one.
The landfill,
Oh, yeah,
like
Private,
they've done in
like-
Deerfield. Yeah,
a partnership, private, public.
yeah.
Well, it helps that Joe's gonna do that. It will at least help with the connecting part.
If they can do it, but now they have multiple customers. They have Joe and landfill, so there's at least two
Yeah,
who are interested.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Do we wanna open for public comment?
Yeah, Susan, do you have anything else? or-
No, I was just looking at the calendar, you're right, it's not near Veterans Day, I think that's a good date. I did wanna say, I think this plastic is a very worthy, relevant, forward-thinking topic for public awareness.
Mm.
I think this is terrific, whichever route you start, just
Yeah.
to start. And soon, more and more, whether you use the senior center as your venue, the senior center tells people. My mother
Right.
tells me what's going on
Right.
from the senior
Yeah.
center. And
Right.
I tell people what my mother tells me.
Right.
So I just think this is a very
Yeah, I
worthy,
mean, that might be a way to begin. is
all
Put
important
it in,
public awareness topic.
have somebody come and give a talk and
Sure.
publicize it via their newsletter and on the town website for whoever.
Okay.
Do you get emails from the town telling you this, that, and the other?
No, my mother sends me emails from the town, but yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay,
yeah, she's my
okay.
contact.
Okay.
And
But you can sign up to be
Yeah.
notified of things.
Okay.
whether it's paving on Route 9
Okay.
or other things, that
Right.
sometimes is really handy to know.
Well, I'm in Hadley every other day, so that'd be good.
Yeah,
That'd be really good. But I think this topic is so good.
yeah.
Well, and I
to
think
tackle.
it's intriguing that you have the fellow from Ridwell.
Well,
Okay.
it's sort of ironic because on the one hand, what they're doing does not minimize plastic in the environment. It minimizes plastic in the trash. They are avid. Okay, so I mean, I could
It's-
spend some time explaining how it works right now.
Yeah.
We can just wait.
Yeah, we can wait.
Wait,
But you know, it is good because if you talk about nanoplastics and microplastics and all of that, they are limiting that. That's,
Not really.
well, maybe.
I mean,
If they're getting some of it out of the waste stream.
well, right, but it's still the package that my sliced turkey came in,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
It,
Well, and Trader Joe's got a terrible rating on.
but all those, that's why I signed up for their service, because all that kind of plastic, all those bags that their greens come in and stuff, that right now you Target, nobody wants those. They will take them.
Yeah.
And they have this cool system that's very doable. Anyway, I'll let him
Is it,
explain.
I wonder, is it like one fee for the year or is it monthly or how do they?
No,
do
you
their
pay for the
business?
bag.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you now or just
Well,
wait?
now you hinted about it. You told me a
Just,
little bit
just
about it.
wait,
Okay.
you know, because that's his whole.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
why we're having him come. You know.
Yeah.
And plus, well, they had somebody in person, so you could go ahead and get started with their service when you came to Amherst. But they do have a website. You know.
Yeah.
It's fine. Let them.
We adjourn.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
So make a motion.
So I make the motion that we adjourn the meeting at 7:54.
Is that?
I second it.